Dollar Tree mason jars are great for canning, but they are perfect for crafting. They have two sizes, a large and a small one. For this first Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to start with 3 of these ping pong balls from Dollar Tree. I'm going to melt a hole on the bottom of one. I'm going to put in this skewer stick right through it. Then I'm going to poke another hole directly on the opposite side of the ball. And this is just going to create a place where I can thread the skewer stick right through. And because we are going to paint them, it's going to make it so much easier. I did the same thing with the other 2 balls, and then we're going to start painting them in 3 colors. This is going to be a nice summer theme. It's going to be quite fun. We're going to use the first red, and we're going to start doing what will look like little beach balls. I thought these were adorable. I am going to start painting the red stripe. I'm going to do the very best I can. It's not perfect, friends. I am never looking for perfection. I say that all the time. It does look like it's hand painted, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to start with the red one and move on to the yellow and then move on to the blue. I'm going to place them on this foam just so that they are not touching any surface, and we are going to let them dry. We're going to take one of the smaller mason jars from Dollar Tree, remove the lid, we're not going to need that, and remove the sticker from the bottom. We're going to also wipe it well to remove smudges and dust. We're going to take some white sand from Dollar Tree. We're going to fill in the jar about maybe 2/3 high, give or take. Dollar Tree sticker aisle, it is awesome. I love all the selection that they have. And these summer ones are beautiful. I'm going to use the one that says summer, and it already has the little sticky pads, but they weren't sticking because it is a rounded shape. So I did have to reinforce with hot glue, and that also came off. So I ended up having to use some alien tape, and I'll show you what alien tape is here in just a minute. I'm going to take the little beach balls. They are nicely dry, and we're just going to drop them right in. They're going to be right there, ready to be played with in the sand. How cute. We're going to use some of these faux boxwood that I do get on Amazon, and I love the way this jar turned out. What an easy project. So easy, a little bit of painting on the balls, but I'd love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take this laminating sheet and one of the insides of the lids. We're going to trace 4 of them onto the outside of the laminating sheet. We're going to use a permanent marker because it just seemed to work best. And then once there, we are going to take some dry flowers. I got mine from a maker studio, but if you don't have them, Amazon does carry wide a selection of these, and I have these in my Amazon store if you want to check it out. Again, linked down below. We're going to open up the laminating sheet, and we're just going to start placing whatever flowers I want to make sure that they are inside the circle and then they're not overlapping the circle. And that's very important. Okay, so we're just going to start adding different flowers to each one, again, staying as close to the center as possible. Once I had them where I wanted, I'm just going to close up the laminating sheet, and we're going to place them inside the laminator. I got this one on Amazon as well. Not expensive at all, and I love crafting with laminating sheets. We're going to press it through twice. Don't ask me why. I think once it's okay. I like doing twice. And making sure that those flowers are nicely set. All right, we're going to start cutting off each circle. Now, you may have to trim here and there to make sure they fit inside each lid, but it's up to you. We're going to add a little bit of hot glue. Now, be very careful. These lids got hot with the hot glue. I'm not talking about a little hot, like really hot. So be very, very careful when you are doing this. Once you add the glue, we're just going to add 1 of the circles inside each lid. And I love these. These are little sun catchers. They can also be ornaments. I can see something like this for Christmas. I love the idea. And to be able to hang them, we're just going to use some of this baker's twine, but you can use jute string, ribbon, whatever you have on hand. I'm going to wrap it around maybe once or twice. And then on one of the loops, we're just going to leave a little loop, just like this. We're going to hot glue on the sides, and this is just going to be able to hang it. Now, these are not heavy pieces, so a little hot glue goes a long way. And then wrap it around one more time just to secure everything in place. And I'm going to do the same thing on all 3 other lids. And we're just about done with this one. My friends, what a great way to use these lids. Gorgeous designs. I love these little dry flowers. And it doesn't have to be even flowers. You can use stickers or whatever you want. Let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. This next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to start with a larger mason jar. Once again, remove the lid. Remove the sticker from the bottom and wipe it really well to remove dust and smudges. We're going to take it outside. We are going to frost it. We're going to use this frosted glass style spray by Rust-Oleum. I'm going to do one coat, but you can do as many as you want depending on the look you are going for. While it's drying, I am going to go to my Cricut Joy Extra. We're just going to cut off a couple of, actually 3 decals in the shape of fairies. These were in the design space by Cricut. And now that the jar is nicely dry, we're just going to attach them. Now, you can do 4 if you want, 1 for each side of the mason jar. I'm not going to do the one where I have all the measurements because it's just not going to stick well. So we're going to do 3 little fairies. I measured them and making sure that they are going to fit in each side nicely. And with some transfer tape, we are just going to attach them. So easy. Now, if you do not have a Cricut machine, that's okay. Use the carbon paper technique that I have showed many times before. You can do that, or you can also use any other type of stickers you'd like. We are going to place the last little fairy right there on the side. And look how adorable this is already looking. Now, we are going to add some fairy lights because they're fairy lights. Anyways, I get these on Amazon. You've seen me use these before. They are my favorite. I do have them in my Amazon store. If you want to check them out, it is linked down below. I'm going to thread them right inside the jar right there. Now, you can stop right here. You can drop the little battery pack, add the lid back on, and call it a day. But I'm going to take it a little further. We're going to use some of this alien tape. Now, this is the alien tape I was telling you. I get it on Amazon, and it is in my Amazon store as well. It sticks really well to glass. So we're going to attach the battery using that. This solar light was left over from a video that I did recently. I removed the stake portion, and we're just going to hot glue it to the top. This is going to add a little bit more ambience during the nighttime, and it's also going to just cover up that top portion. I'm going to use this burlap ribbon. It has a frayed edges, and I love it. I folded it in half, and I'm just going to attach it, wrapping it around the thread of the jar. And I got to say, the simplicity and the beautiful magical touch this jar has is so fun. What do you think of this one? Dollar Tree DIY craft. We're going to start with 3 mason jars. These are on the larger side. We're going to remove the lid, remove the stickers, and wipe them really well. At first, I thought I was going to use 3. I ended up changing my mind, but I'll show you what I did with the third one. All right, we're going to take them outside. We're going to spray them white. This is a semi-gloss white spray paint by Rust-Oleum. And we're just going to quickly spray them. I'm not looking for full coverage because we are going to give these a distressed farmhouse look. But if you do not like that style, by all means, just make sure you paint everything with a nice full coverage. While the white one's dry, we're going to take the third jar. We're just going to paint it blue. This is a beautiful ocean blue by Waverly Chalk Pen. We're going to do a couple of coats, and we're going to let that dry. Dollar Tree has an entire selection of vinyl, and we're going to take a piece of one of their white ones. We're going to cut it off just enough to give me enough room. We're going to use this star-shaped hole puncher. It comes in a set of 6. I get this on Amazon, and I do have them in my Amazon store as well. I'm going to remove the little cap from the bottom just so that I don't have to keep removing it to empty it out. And we're just going to start cutting off some stars. Now, this is going to be in the American style, more patriotic style, but you can use any style you want. You can get the idea, maybe use your own flag, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to keep punching the stars, and then we are going to put them to the side just briefly because we are going to work on the white jar. Again, we went from 2 to 1 because I just decided to change my mind. I don't know. We're going to use some masking tape from Dollar Tree. We're going to create some stripes to mimic the American flag. So I'm just going to add them to just, I don't know, leaving about the same amount size in between each. And then we're going to take Rust-Oleum chalked pen in the farmhouse red, and we're going to paint some stripes. Again, we're going to do, it's going to look like sloppy, but it's because I want a distressed look. So I'm doing a little bit more of a dry brush, but a little bit heavier. So we're going to do the in between the stripes as well as the bottom and the top. Removing the tape is always so fun, and I love to do it when the paint is still wet. Don't know why, I just don't want it to peel on me. So we're going to do that and then put that to the side. We're going to go back to the blue one. It's nice and dry. We are going to distress it using the wet distress technique. You just basically add a little bit of water onto a towel or a rag and then just remove some of the paint. Again, if this is not your style, I understand. It's okay. Just leave it full coverage. We're going to start adding all the stars, just alternating them here and there until the entire jar is covered. I'm not going to do the thread because we are doing something different for that. So once it's completely covered, we are going to cover the top portion with some jute string. You can use whatever ribbon you want, or you can leave it as is. It's up to you. I'm going to wrap it around several times, and then we are going to attach it with glue, and then we're going to make a very simple bow using my fingers and more jute string. We're going to wrap it around my fingers a few times, and then we are going to fluff it up a little bit and glue it to the front of the jar. Now that the red and white jar is dry, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to wrap around some jute string to the top, make a very simple bow around my fingers, tie it in the center with jute string. Then we are going to hot glue it to the front, cut off any excess jute string, and then that's it, my friends. How adorable is this? Again, it could be done with any style you want. I love the simplicity. You can use these for flower arrangement or even to put some plastic utensils. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take the leftover white jar and we are going to have some fun. This is going to be such an easy craft anyone can do. These little rub-on transfer stickers are from Dollar Tree and we're just going to start cutting them one by one. So much easier to attach when they are separate. We're going to start attaching them in no specific pattern. I'm just going to make sure that no similar design is next to each other. That's it. Now the glass is still a little tacky to the touch, so it made the transfers attach perfectly and extremely easy. I don't recommend it. If it's tacky, just let it dry. I was a little impatient, but it did work out because it helped me attach these so easily. And again, I'm just going to do it all around the jar. How easy is this? Oh my word. Okay, so we're going to take this beautiful ribbon from, I think this is from burlapfabric.com. We're going to wrap it around the thread, adding glue here and there to secure it in place. I do want it to overlap the edge of the thread on purpose. So whatever you want to do, it's fine. We're going to cut off the excess and we're going to add some beautiful, really beautiful flowers to it, just complementing the entire design. But how easy was this craft? I love the way it turned out, so feminine. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Jar DIY craft, we are going to take a smaller one of those mason jars and we're going to remove the lid once again. We do not need it. Put it to the side. We are going to remove the sticker part for this one and we are just going to give it a quick wipe. We're going to use Mod Podge and a brush and we're just going to start applying Mod Podge section by section, adding each flower one by one with the tweezers, and then add in more Mod Podge on top to flatten it out. I'm going to do this same technique all around the jar, just adding here and there what kind of design I think looks good, but you do whatever you want to do. So we're just about done adding the flowers. By the time I was done on the other side, the first side was already almost dry. You can see right there. All right, so normally when I have paint or Mod Podge, I place it on the floor in front of this fan and I just let it dry and it dries in minutes. So use that technique. All right, so here it is all dried and it worked so good. It's very textured, so if you pick at it, it will come off. But why pick at it? It's beautiful. But I love the way it turned out. All right, so we're going to take this burlap lacy ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use the entire portion of this wavy one. So beautiful. We're going to wrap it around that threaded portion. Again, I don't like seeing that threaded portion bare, so we're going to cover it up, but you can use whatever ribbon you want. A white one would have been beautiful too, or even pink or red. Secured in the bag with some hot glue. Look how cute this is. All right, so at first I thought I would add a real candle because I figured it's jar, it's glass. But then I thought, what if it activates the Mod Podge, the heat? So I changed my mind. We're just going to use one of these battery-operated ones. They're so easy to work with. You just remove the little plastic tag right from the bottom, and then you click it on, and that's it. And at first you think, that's not going to generate any light. Let me tell you, it did beautiful. I'm just going to put it right in the center, and let me show you. It turned out gorgeous. The next photo is in a darker place. You're going to see it. The glow is magnificent. Let me know what you think, though. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to start with these beautiful napkins that you can find at springtime. I love, love, love these. I'm going to take these one that says Happy Spring, and we're just going to use one of them. To my surprise, each one has 4 designs. Tell me this is not an awesome prize. Love these for Mod Podge. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, the ply was very thin, so I didn't need to remove any portion of it, but I feel like I should have, and you're going to see here in the end. I cut off the excess napkin paper from the edges, wipe the jar really well, and we're just going to add Mod Podge once again, a really large space in the front, and then we're going to take the napkin design and just place it carefully because it could tear. I'm just going to press and just kind of press down until all the bubbles are gone. And this is what I'm talking about. I think if I would have removed the extra ply, even though it was very thin, I think it would have made a big difference. I'm going to add another layer of Mod Podge over the napkin and then just add Mod Podge all over the jar so everything matches when it's nice and dry. We're going to put it in front of the fan, and you can see all the little white sections. I think that's what could have been avoided if I'd have just removed the ply. So just keep that in mind. This is some baker's twine in a white and beige, and I'm just going to wrap it around the front, once again covering up the thread, and then we're going to tie it in a very simple bow. You can leave it in a knot if you want. You can add something in the center. I kept it simple, but I'm going to add some greenery picks. This one is from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to set it inside, open it up as needed, and then add these beautiful roses right inside. I'm going to add 4 of them here and there just to fill it in. I think the color really complements the design of the napkin beautifully. Look how stunning this looks. Again, I don't like the little white parts of the napkin, but it is what it is. I love the way it turned out, but what do you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. Next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take one of the larger mason jars. This one was a leftover from another project, and it had little black speckles in it from the project, and that would not come off. I don't know why. So we're just going to cover it up and use it for this one. I watered down some Mod Podge, and then we're going to take beautiful wrapping paper from Dollar Tree. You can find these in all kinds of designs, especially beautiful ones with a wedding style or spring or Valentine's. They're just gorgeous. I'm just going to rip it in different shapes, and I want it to have that torn look. I'm going to start covering the entire jar using the paper and the Mod Podge. So basically just add Mod Podge, then add piece by piece of the paper, making sure you're covering the entire surface, and then add more Mod Podge to the top so that everything is sealed. The Mod Podge that I'm using has a matte finish. You can use the glossy one if you want as well. This is just what I had at home. So I'm going to keep doing this until the entire jar is covered. I set it to the side to dry, and look how gorgeous this is. It's one of my favorite. I love it. All right, so now I'm going to look for the side that kind of looks the best, and I'm going to choose that to be my front. Then I'm going to take this burlap style ribbon. This one I got on Amazon, and we're just going to wrap it around the thread at the top, making sure that it overlaps a little bit towards the bottom, and then a little bit towards the top, overlapping the edge. That way it's just going to add nice texture to it. Secured it in place with hot glue, and again, this is another one that you can add whatever else you want. I decided to take this beautiful pink flower. I'm going to spread the petals just a little bit so it gives the illusion that it has more petals than what it really has. Cut off the excess pick from the back, add hot glue, and we're just going to add it right here. Now, if you're going to add actual flowers to the vase, then don't add anything. Maybe you can add some more jute string, maybe wrap another or layer another ribbon. but because I added the flower to the jar, I'm just going to add the greenery, and I love the way it turned out. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take another one of those larger mason jars and wipe it really well. I'm going to remove the cap from it. We're going to put that to the side because we're not going to need it. I'm going to give it a couple of coats of this beautiful pink tone chalk paint by Rust-Oleum. I love, love, love this pink. It's very soft and neutral and is one of my favorites. I give it a couple of coats. I was not looking for perfection. While that's dry, I'm going to take these two craft papers. They have different designs, but they complement each other really nicely. I cut off a square, and I am going to cut off about a ½ inch from each side, and I'm literally just going to tear it. I want to see that torn look on the edges. So I'm going to do that on all sides. I'm going to cut off another square from the other design, and this time we're just going to lightly fold it without causing a crease, and then we're going to cut off the shape of a heart. So just use your scissors and just cut it a half heart, and then you're going to have a full heart. Once you open it up, it's nicely and even. We're going to attach this to the front of the piece of paper, and we're going to do it using some double-sided tape. I'm going to damp a little bit of this towel, and I'm just going to wet distress the jar. You don't have to do this if you do not like the distress look. I wanted to give it a little bit of a worn and torn style, so I'm just going to start rubbing some of the paint off here and there, and then we are going to take my crocodile. If you do not have a crocodile, you can use a hole puncher, but crocodiles are on Amazon, and I do have it on my Amazon store as well. I'm going to poke 2 holes just like that, just so that they can hang like this, and the heart is going to be in a tilted motion. I'm going to take some jute string and wrap it around the jar right on top on the thread, and then I'm going to thread the jute string each end through each hole and make a very simple bow in the front. And then once you have the bow in the size you want, just cut off the excess string from the bottom. Now we are going to take these tiny little flowers and just hot glue them right there in the center, keeping it simple, keeping it very feminine. I love this style, such a relaxed style. This hydrangea is gorgeous. It's from Walmart. I don't remember the price, but I love, love, love the colors, and I think it complements the entire design very nicely. Boy, is this a very beautiful, romantic Valentine's Day craft. What do you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. Take another one of the larger ones, and we're going to remove the cap. We are going to again dust it again just to remove any dust, and then we are going to take this beautiful wrapping paper. Now this one is from Home Goods. I found this in clearance at the end of the Valentine's Day season. Originally was $2.99 and I got it for 50% off. Great deal. The quality of this paper is amazing. I cut off a piece that it's about maybe 8 inches wide, and I'm just going to roll it in the opposite direction so that it removes that curve that it had. Then I'm going to tear some pieces from the sides where again we're looking for that torn look, and I'm going to do that to the top and the bottom until I have a size that fits my jar. So just keep looking and measuring and tearing until you have the size that you need. If you do not like the torn look, don't do it. Just cut it. It is okay. Now, once I had a size that fits, I'm going to take some drop cloth and I'm going to cut off a piece. Now, drop cloth, if you tear it, it leaves this frayed, torn look that I love. So I'm just going to keep tearing until I have a size that fits inside of the wrapping paper, but you can still see some of the design in the back. So once I had that, we are going to wrap everything around the mason jar. To attach the wrapping paper, I'm going to use some of that double-sided tape. And we're going to wrap it around and then just fold it. That way it'll attach nicely. Then we are going to attach the drop cloth, but this time we're going to do it using hot glue. So we're going to start where the seam of the wrapping paper is and wrap it around the jar, making sure that it's centered to the wrapping paper. Doesn't that already look so beautiful? Now you can leave it as is, but I decided to add some jute string. So I'm just going to cut off a piece that's long enough to go around the jar, maybe 3 or 4 times, give or take. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to tie it in a very simple bow again in the front of the jar. So just make sure that you size the bow whatever size you want. Now I'm going to bring in that piece of craft paper that we used earlier in my hard hole puncher. This came with the same one that we used earlier with the star, and I'm just gonna punch one right there on that design. And as you saw earlier, I did remove the little bottom from it, but this time I kept it, and you just open it up and reveal the little heart, and it's so stinking cute. We're gonna hot glue it right to the center of the bow, and then we're gonna bring in these hearts. These are felt sticker hearts that you can find at Dollar Tree, and for this one, we're gonna use a small pink one because they come in different sizes and colors. Remove the back and place it at a tilted angle right in front of that other heart. Look how cute that looks, and it really complements the wrapping paper nicely. These beautiful vibrant flowers are from Dollar Tree. We're going to cut off the stem. We're going to place them right inside, and this other one that I don't know where it came from, but it looks pretty. But look how gorgeous this is. Again, the simplicity, so romantic, so feminine. Love, love, love this piece. What do you think of this one? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree mason jar DIY craft, I'm going to take a piece of cardboard. It could be any cardboard. I'm going to freehand a heart. Now, I made sure that this heart fits inside of my mason jar, okay? Keep that in mind. And I'm using a smaller mason jar. Once I have it cut, I use my blade knife. I'm just going to wrap it around with some white yarn. You can use any yarn, any color design you want, but I'm going to use white, and I'm just going to keep wrapping it around, making sure that I'm pulling and tugging so it's not going to fall off on me. Hot glue the end, cut off the excess. Now I'm going to take another one of those felt hearts. I'm going to take the larger size. I'm going to trace it and cut it because I want 3 hearts. I want a larger one, a medium, and a small one. So for this medium one, we are going to cut it off with my scissors, and then we're going to remove the sticker portion and place it right in the front. Now I see some of the white, so we're going to trim that off and make sure that it looks nice and clean. We're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to use a pink heart again in the smaller size, put it on the cardboard, and then we're just going to cut off the excess. Now I'm going to take some foam from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut off a piece that will fit right inside the lid of the jar, and we're going to hot glue it right in on it. That way it's going to hold, and it's going to hold everything in place, really. Now we're going to take this skewer stick, and we are going to hot glue it inside each heart. Now for the bigger one, we're just going to place it right inside, and then we're going to hot glue it onto the foam. For the 2 other ones, we're going to hot glue it to the back, and then add another sticker to hold it in place. This craft is taking shape, and now we're going to cover that foam up using some reindeer moss from Dollar Tree. You can hot glue it in place, or you can just place it in there. It's okay. We're going to remove the sticker from the jar, and then we're going to just snug everything in there very carefully and just tighten the jar onto the lid. And now we're going to bring in this beautiful buffalo check red and white ribbon from Dollar Tree. We're going to fold it in 3, and we're going to wrap it around the lid. I didn't like the golden tone. I feel like it didn't look right. So we're just going to wrap it and hide it, cut off the excess, and secure it with some hot glue. We're going to take some greenery, and we're going to hot glue 2 pieces to the front of the jar, right there where the ribbon is. And then we're going to add 1 more heart. These are wooden stickers, actually, and they have beautiful colors and designs. We're going to take a small red one, and we're going to hot glue it right there in the center. And that's it. What a beautiful and easy craft you can make. You can make this with friends, with your kiddos, grandkids. Love the style, and you can choose any color combination you want. Let me know what you think of this one. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.